Grand opening, grand closing. Welcome, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. It's your only friend these YouTube streets, PlayStation77. And we got some great conversation today. This guy right here. You're thinking, who's this bald dude that's smiling? That guy right there, his name is Tim Stewart. He's the Chief Financial Officer for Xbox. Why is he important? Why am I making a video about him? Well, this guy, right, recently is here in California. He attended this. This is the Wells Fargo Summit, right? And he was talking about topics such as AI, Microsoft investments, gaming, their investments in gaming, and the things that Microsoft is doing. But why this is becoming a big topic? Why am I involved in this? Why is Twitter lit up right now? Because this guy spoiled the beans. He pretty much told everybody that Microsoft will be putting games on PlayStation and Nintendo. And you're going to hear it. You're not going to say, oh, Puerto Rock, you're misrepresenting. He's talking about Call of Duty. We're not going to play that nonsense. That's why I found this. Oh, yeah. This is the whole recording to it, right? But of course, he talks about a whole bunch of stuff. So obviously, I isolated to the part where he starts talking about the explanation of putting games on PlayStation, Nintendo, all types of devices. And it's all about money. Oh, yeah. It's there. And you're going to hear it. And you know what? I'm not even going to waste your time. Why am I going to keep dangling this carrot? I'm not going to dangle a carrot. We're going to get right to it. So I'm going to pause this mic and we're just going to listen.
Operating leverage and margin expansion, definitely a piece of that puzzle. We think about acquisition amortization separately, so you can work that in your models. But at the highest level, you go from what was a lower margin third-party entity that we sold on our store to a high margin first-party business. So that's kind of when you think about the Xbox component of Call of Duty, you go from, again, that low margin business to a high margin business. Then what you do is you also expand and say, we're now driving high margin sales on PlayStation.
So far, you're hearing him expand. So he's not talking about the past. This is where the whole thing of, oh, he's only talking about Call of Duty Minecraft. That's the past. He's talking about expansion, doing more. Attention to the dude.
On Nintendo. World of Warcraft has subscription, high-margin businesses. So you're bringing in high-margin business into a traditionally more lower-margin business when you think about the Xbox console and hardware. And that's really, maybe lastly, is where we're...
Did you hear how he described the Xbox console? Lower-margin business. It's trying to bring higher-margin business in the world where they're dealing with lower margin business. And Xbox console is lower margin business. His words.
Going in this business is that expansion of operating leverage. Where we think about placing our bets, first party, subscriptions, advertising, those are all high margin businesses that we want to expand into. And what you'll hear from us more and more is a bit of a change of strategy. And again, not announcing anything broadly here, but our mission is to bring our first-party experiences, our subscription services, to every screen that can play a game. That means smart TVs. That means mobile devices. That means what we would have thought as competitors in the past, like PlayStation and Nintendo.
You heard him. What we would have considered as competitors in the past, like PlayStation and Nintendo, is expanding to include what were once competitors. He literally said it, and you heard him in the beginning. You heard him just before that, not announcing anything now, but this is it. This is it. He just said it. They don't look at PlayStation and Nintendo as competitors anymore. There's no reason to. That's how they're going to expand. Bruh. Let's finish this off.
We're going to NVIDIA, GeForce Now, their gaming subscription service. I know you have Colette, I think, on tomorrow. You can talk to her about that. But when we think about taking our businesses to these endpoints, again, it's that high-margin business to new gamers that really Activision allows us to do in a much, I don't want to say easier way, but a much more, I'll say, fast way to get there versus trying to kind of build on your own.
And that right there, it is so crazy. It is absolutely so crazy because it was either my last video, I think it was my last video, right? Or the video, yeah, I think it's the last video. I mentioned that when you look at Microsoft now as a publisher and all the developers, majority of their developers made games for PlayStation. There's only a few developers that are Xbox developers that never really made a game for PlayStation. Coalition, 343, Turn 10, Playground, right? But everybody else that Microsoft acquired, everybody else is well experienced in multi-plat games, making games for PlayStation, Xbox, PC all at the same time. They have their experience, right? And you heard them. Part of the acquisition wasn't to try to learn to this stuff. It was a fast way to get to this point. It was a fast way to be able to have the capability to make games, to expand for that high margin game when their console does nothing but low margin game. Listen, it's done. He even said we're not announcing anything now. That means they're announcing something soon. You Xbox fanboys, the pain is coming, bro. Listen, just stop fanboying. Just admit it. It'll be much easier. Just accept it. It'll be much easier for you guys. Because they're going to announce something soon. 2024, it's just going to be crazy in 24. It's going to be absolutely crazy once you see the way Microsoft moves. Now, keep in mind, look at the summit. This isn't fanboy, this isn't IGN or any of their stuff. This is Wells Fargo's bank. These are serious people talking about money. This isn't console war. Tim Dog is not here as an audience, right? You ain't got Crap Gamer there. We Bleed Green podcast is not up in there. That's not the audience. In fact, most of these people listening probably aren't even gamers. They're looking at it from a financial aspect, 100%. Most of these guys is just the investment, the business strategy. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care how many Xbox Fan Fest tickets you bought or how many times you tweeted saying, hey, how you doing, Phil? Happy Father's Day. They don't give a finnuck. None of that matters. This right here is the real. This is the real. This is the real stuff right here. This is money. And he's talking from a financial perspective as his job. Chief Financial Officer doing chief financial things. Talking to a representative of Wells Fargo. Ain't no fanboy. Ain't no console war. Ain't no identity or none of that nonsense. It's about high margin gain. My man just spilled the beans. But they didn't do an official announcement. He's going to let Phil do that for the company. Because that's their job. Sarah Bond, that's her job now. Matt Booty, that's his job. They're going to do all that. And guess what? The Xbox fanboy is going to fall in line anyway. It's like you have a choice. What you going to do? You're going to stop playing Xbox? Yeah, really? You're going to stop being fanboys? All this capping and kissing and all that now all of a sudden going to go away? No, you're just going to change the narrative and all that stuff. But the reality is, just start changing it now. Xbox putting their games everywhere. They're going for that high margin gain. They're going to capitalize on PlayStation's vast dominance in the console market. They're going to capitalize Nintendo's vast dominance in the mobile market. They're going to even capitalize on GeForce subscription services. Wherever they can make a buck, they're going to make a buck. Nothing's off limits. Everything's on the table. Anyone, anywho, anywhere, anyhow. If they could put your game on it, they'll put your game on your damn refrigerator if they can. Anywhere they could put their games or subscription service and they could sell it or get a subscriber, that thing's in play. Doesn't matter what it is. There is no device, no brand, nothing's off limits. From Apple to Android, refrigerators, TVs, to your watch, you name it, they're on it. They don't give a damn if they're going to put it on Tesla vehicles if they have to. Whatever it is, if it can play any game they have, even if it's just mobile or indies, it doesn't matter. they want in. They want to make a buck off of the masses amount of platforms and devices and anything that's out there. They are done with the nonsense. Because you fanboys did more talking, more capping than actually buying and playing games. So that's it. Sorry. Don't come crying like you betrayed us. They don't give a damn about that. They only care about the dollar, and they are going after it hardcore. Listen, come here. Come here. Let me help you guys out. Let me help you guys out. We had a good run. You had a good run. You Xbox fanboys, you had a good run. You know, you have 4 generations. You understand what I'm saying? You have 4 generations, you know. 2 of those generations were bangers. You started out with a banger. OG Xbox, I'm telling you, I love the OG Xbox. I love the OG Xbox. To this day, I still say it is a spiritual successor to the Dreamcast 2. Fantastic console. The 360 was a banger. Huge banger. Sure, it had ROD and you could talk some trash, but when it came to the games, had bangers. Gears of War, new IP, banger. Got Mass Effect, timed exclusive, but at the time you thought it was exclusive, right? At the time we all thought it was just going to be exclusive. You know, we only know now because hindsight. But at the time, Mass Effect was only on Xbox. Grand Theft Auto 4, 2 downloadable content story packs, bangers. You know, Oblivion, banger, right? What else? BioShock. Remember, for a while we thought that was going to be PC, Xbox only. Again, hindsight, it came to PS3, but before that, banger. Virtua Fighter 5, the only version that had online. You know, Lost Odyssey. Yo, 360 did its thing. You had 2 gens that, you know, was bangers. Then Project Natal came. Peter Moore left. Don Matrick had this vision of saying Xbox on and all this stupid shit. And, you know, I never recovered since. And at this point, you heard Phil a while back. If there was any worse time to lose a console generation, it was last generation Xbox One, which means there's no going back. The loss is permanent. You can't out console PlayStation and Nintendo. So I would even say at that moment, they already knew it was done. This third-party strategy was already cooking for a while. It was happening all while. Now it's clear that the whole ABK deal was more than, it had nothing to do with trying to sell more Xboxes. Absolutely nothing. Obviously, they got into mobile. Obviously, they want more games in Game Pass. But they want that capability that ABK is able to do, is be a great multi-platform publisher and be able to make games and just do it without skipping a beat. That all those meetings and getting together, that's called ABK mentoring other Xbox studios that don't have that, you know, capacity, or they never did that. So yeah, 343, Coalition, all them dudes, oh yeah, they're learning the ropes. They're learning the way of the Force. You know what I'm saying? The Padawans, they're learning from the Jedi Masters on how to do things. It's happening. They're merging. They're learning. So that way they could get those games on Nintendo. They could get those games on PlayStation. They could get those games on GeForce Now. They could get their games anywhere there's a screen and there's a controller. Period. He didn't announce it now. You heard him. I'm not announcing anything now, but that means there's going to be an announcement. And it's not going to be a 2-3 year wait. No, if he's willing to talk about, if he's already talking about this in the professional financial outlets, they're not that far off from executing Order 66. Y'all about to get Order 66. Y'all bots? It's an end of an era. Boy, Phil Dominus Maximus is about to say execute Order 66. Y'all done, bro. Listen, it's over. I mean, it is what it is. You guys had a good run, but, you know, now, to be fair, people are asking, well, then what's the point of the Xbox console? I said Microsoft has to reface the Xbox console because they can't keep going what they're going because no one's buying it. And in my opinion, the only value Xbox console has is simply an affordable native device, not cloud streaming, native device that you can easily get into Game Pass. So the whole Xbox Series S strategy, but instead of the Series S, Series X, you scratch out the Series X concept. No more high-powered consoles, no more $500-$600 consoles, just nothing but $250, easily affordable, good enough console, native device, so you can play the games and get into Game Pass. Not worried about the best graphics, the best effects. If there's a certain mode you can't play on, both this case scenario, that's fine. Not that big of a deal. It's just generally get something nice and cheap that you can play games natively, right? You're not worried about the ray tracing, all these super graphical effects. It's just a nice, good, decent machine, $250. You jump into Game Pass. And that's it. You got native hardware for Game Pass. That's it. If you want that high-end gaming, they can now say, they can always say, go to PC. Or if you want better fidelity as a console gamer, go to PlayStation. $2024 is going to be insane. And the crazy part is every single day of 2024, the Xbox community is going to wake up every single day. And they're going to ask themselves, the day we get that announcement. Oh my God, that is so hilarious. And the day that announcement officially drops from Phil, from Sarah Bond, from Matt Booty, forget about it. I don't know what to say. Hey, let me know what you think. I'm going to post that link in the description box. You have to obviously put your email and your information in, but it's there. You can listen to it yourself. It's not like I doctored it or anything like that. It is what it is. Enjoy. Only friend these YouTube streets, bringing another banging video. If you enjoyed this video and you're like, yo, this video is dope, why didn't you hit the like button and subscribe? Check out my past contents. They're on fire. Okay? And, and retweet it out. Spread the love. Let people know. Spread the gospel. The truth's got to get out there. And I got you the source. All right? The source is here. You can listen to it to yourself. So that way you don't think it's doctored or fake or whatever. There's no fake news here. All right? I'm a better journalist than the actual people who call themselves journalists. Get you the source. And it'll be in the description box. The only friend is YouTube Streets, PorterRock77. I'm out of here. Peace.
Grand opening, grand closing.